Well, I think more importantly, just overall operation and how we function, how we flow, our synchronization. I think that I take accountability for a lot of it, and just how we go out there because it's my job. My job is to go out there and be the general, orchestrate everything, and ultimately make plays. And given the opportunities we had, I'm very critical of myself of trying to make the most of what's given to us, and so. There's definitely some evolution that we can do. There's definitely some things that we can grow in, but I look inward on all of those things and just want to make the most of the opportunities that we do have. And when you're able to do that and you win, when you win and you have a lot to learn from, you can be very critical of yourself on that, and that's something that I've done. So within within the things that are within what we do in our system, if you will, just really operating at a high level and continue to um, challenge those around me with asking questions and um, trying to make sure we're all on the same page. So I think that's the most important thing. Again, operation, synchronization, being on the same page, and going out there and playing our game. I think too, a component of it is there's a template, so I think expectations are fair. Um, Ultimately, it's about winning. But when we look at what we're capable of, we know what we're capable of. But given this new season, this new team, um, offensive leadership looking different, you grow into that, and that's what I mean. So we're confident in where we can go.
I have an idea of what the template is, but just to be clear, what template are you referring to?
Well, I'm just referring to over the time that we've had success. We've offensive football has always been played at a high level here. It's been dynamic and it's found ways to win, and we hope to continue to work to be able to do that. And we think that there are pieces and ways that we can improve, and we've been very critical of ourselves, and that starts with me being critical of myself, so I
Okay.
can lead that charge.
Part of that operation that you're talking about, it was blitz pickup, and they really brought the blitz even more than Spags usually does. Nick was very complimentary on how you guys handled it.
Yeah.
What did you think from your perspective?
Yeah, I think given the situation we were in, we handled it as we're coached to.
The hot mic moment that was caught with Chris Jones, how revealing would you say that is about your personality and your approach?
I don't want to make it bigger than it is. You know, Competitively, you compete and you compete to win.
The Rams are a team that you've now will have seen three times in the last 2 years. They have a really good defensive front.
Yeah.
Um, is that what you think about first when you look at the film?
No, I think about us. I think about us. I think about us controlling what we can. I think about our mentality and our intent. I think about our approach and our temperament as an offense, and I think of overall execution. When you go through any game, it comes down to who executes the best. And I've always felt that way walking into a game. Who's going to execute better than the other team? And yeah, we have a standard, and we have things that we look inward on and we want to improve on, and that starts with me. Ultimately, comes down to executing, and then executing in the most important moments. And so, obviously, we desire for a next level of consistency in that, and that's something I desire, and just take that step. I think it was a really, really, really good, efficient first week given the circumstances we had, and I think we could have taken that step and we didn't, but we still found a way to win, and that's okay. We learn from it.
What are you seeing from the way the offensive line has protected you these first two games?
It's only okay if you learn from it. I say that. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So the way the offensive line has protected you these first two games, like Nick was saying, a lot of times they're getting on this kind of look, so they're kind of thinking on their feet and everything. I mean, what's it like kind of seeing all that work, especially like when you were able to throw that long pass to Devontae?
Yeah, it's full synchronization, and everyone being on the same page. And there are different ways to attack different things. And that was a moment everybody was on the same page. Again, Smitty and I had that conversation. We talked about it, and we got to it, and it was a big play in the game. So it comes down to synchronization, I feel, operation. Again, we moved on. A ton of credit to that team, a ton of credit to that environment, and it's a lot to learn from, and that's something to be, excited about.
Do you feel like every year that you've been here, or at least it's 21, that the offense has kind of grown as the years going on, and you kind of lean on that when things aren't going the way you might want?
Yeah, I more so lean on my experience, and I lean on our experience. But I look inward again, beginning with the evolution of the game and the knowledge that's been taken in, and then our experiences as an offense and team and coaches, and then how I've been coached and how some of those things have been consistent and similar, and how some of those things have changed and evolved. And so you take all of those things into consideration. Sometimes you grow into things and you grow out of things, and I've experienced all of that because of having different coaches. But it's always ended in a winning result. And so that's the number one thing, and that's something that I embrace. And I also can't lose sight of all of the knowledge that I've learned over the years as I play the position.
Where are you in terms of dealing with or reacting to the constant discourse about the tush push?
I mean, I'm really just focused on the daily prep, to be honest. Those are things that I can't control.
Jalen, it seems like you guys are facing a lot more zone defense this year. Now you've been in the league for 5 years. What have you learned about attacking the zone defense and maybe some of the challenges it presents for a quarterback?
Well, I think, defense in general in this league now is just very challenging. And we have the threats we have. It's kind of a pick your poison type of deal, and I think it does require a level of patience. You have to have a level of patience, and you have to be smart and take advantage of those opportunities when they present themselves. And so that's something that I'm mindful of.
To follow up on your first answer, you said expectations are fair. I've heard you discuss standards often during the past 5 years,
Yeah.
not often expectations. Which expectations are you speaking about? Externally, internally?
I think both. I think both. We have a standard that we want to play to, and once you set a standard, the only direction for that standard is to rise, and so there is some eagerness to continue to build, and that's what we come to work and do every day. And so we're all excited about the opportunity in front of us for that, because it's a great opportunity.
You mentioned some of that change over the years that you've been through and learning from it. How do you look at the chemistry with Kevin, and it's very small sample size,
Yeah.
but do you measure how that's increasing as you go through the weeks?
It comes with time. It comes with time. It's the ultimate deal of how we operate, and I lean back on that. How we operate is important. When you talk about that dynamic, and the synchronization is important when we talk about that dynamic as well. Being on the same page so there is no gray, and can't play this position in a great place.
Nick praised your deep ball the other day, something you've talked about in the past, but you attempted, I believe, only 3 passes of over 20 yards this season. It's only been 2 games, but is that something that needs to be on display more going forward?
Whatever it takes to win, to be honest, whatever it takes to win. That's kind of alluding to the expectation part of it. You're capable of doing something, but are you doing it? It's a matter of finding a way to win at the end of the day. You can go out there and win a ton of different ways, but the joy that we had when we walked off that field, knowing all the work we put in throughout the week and knowing how tough of a game it was, so it's a big-time win. Now, the competitive nature in you have to be able to, be honest with yourself and be as critical as you can with yourself so you can grow from all of those opportunities, good and bad, in the game. And so whatever it takes to win in the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Take 2 more.
Where's kind of like the balance then between, being critical of yourself and saying it's like early in the season, still figuring things out, and then also having the expectations of, the offense being as good as it was in the past, like last year and everything? How is that balance determined for you?
It takes kind of having your priorities in order. You know, you need to make it about us and what we do and how we execute. You know, if we just execute, we stay within ourselves and go out there and we're on the same page, then all of those things have the opportunity to come. Every game is different. It flows different. The cadence of it is different. Ultimately, when you look back on the film, you ask, how well did you execute? And numerous opportunities where we could have all executed at a higher level, taking advantage of different things and maybe had better conversations in certain moments. Ultimately, comes down to that.
You had said whatever it takes to win. Nick's messaging was take pride in what it takes to win.
Yeah.
Is that something as a team leader, is that hard to get everybody to understand that? You have to get people on that sort of same page?
No, I know I don't. I think that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And I want to give you a no answer there. But it's purely just about, you know, going out there and trying to find ways to win games. There's nothing to persuade in that. There's nothing about that, you know. And I think when we look back on it, you look at the standard, you look yourself in the mirror and say, what could I have done better? You're critical of yourself. Ultimately, they're both you know. There's taking pride in winning, and then there's taking pride in doing what it takes to win. And so you're trying to bring the most out of yourself at all times while chasing this team goal and winning games week by week. And so, again, we got another great opportunity from us to go against a really good Rams team. I mean, a great led team, great players. It's just a great opponent. And, you know, we got to look at ourselves and say, how do we want to, you know, go out there and approach this game? You know, this is going to be a hungry team. And obviously the competitive game we had end of the year last year to go to the NFC Championship. So just want to take advantage of this opportunity and grow within ourselves.